Hey everyone, Satoshi Matrix here bringing you part 2 of my Famicom Wars review. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, please click on the link in my show notes now. Control. The controls function well. The D-pad moves the cursor around the map. The B button brings up the options menu, giving you the options to build units, check a list of your existing units, check a list of all other stats, supply units on allied cities with ammo and up to 2 HP recovery points, the option to end your turn, or other options including adjusting gameplay settings, saving and loading, and finally, yielding the battle. As you might expect, the A button performs actions and is used to confirm selections. The select button automatically centers on your HQ, which may be helpful for some larger maps. Start doesn't seem to do anything. Fun factor. If there's one thing that can be said about Famicom Wars, it's that even just one map can sap away hours. The CPU is vicious, and you really do feel like you're waging war when you're fighting against it. It's hard to put into words just how fun moving little dudes around the map and having them beat up other little dudes can be. It's just something you need to experience for yourself. What I can say is that the complexity of the game rewards well thought out plans of attacks, and seeing the success of your careful planning is incredibly satisfying. Frustration. The most frustrating aspect of this game is spending hours on a single map, then suddenly things turning sour and you end up losing. This game can be that intense. System availability. The original Famicom Wars is available only for the Japanese Nintendo Family Computer, aka the Famicom. There is no NES port in either North America or in Europe, and I have never seen a pirated copy. Famicom Wars is not available on the Wii Virtual Console either, even in Japan. Price. As of the writing of this review, I found that Famicom Wars really shouldn't set you back too much. Prices vary depending on what you're looking for. If you just want the cartridge by itself, the price range is between $5 to $12 domestically. If you're looking for a complete in-box copy, that will cost you slightly more, somewhere between $15 to $30. I picked up my complete in-box copy on eBay for $25. History. As I said in part 1, Famicom Wars is the first game in the long-running Nintendo Wars series. What's that, you say? Never heard of Nintendo Wars? Well, no, don't bother checking your history books. It's not some sort of secret war that Nintendo was fought over in the 80s. Rather, Nintendo Wars refers to the entire series of games using the basic game structure started here in Famicom Wars. Despite many sequels and an unwavering fan base, it wasn't until 2001 with the release of Advance Wars for the Game Boy Advance that the series made appearance outside Japan for the first time. Before then, there was a Wars game on virtually every Nintendo platform, save for the Virtual Boy and Nintendo 64. As an Easter egg of sorts, Intelligent Systems has included all of the maps from the original Famicom Wars in Advance Wars and its sequels under the Classic section. Check them out. In 1998, at the tail end of Super Famicom's lifespan in Japan, Famicom Wars was completely remade for that system, entitled, predictably enough, Super Famicom Wars. This remake was much more than a simple graphical update. There were new maps, a 4-player option, new units, updated rulebook, and the introduction of both unique COs and Fog of War. Super Famicom Wars would set the groundwork for the biggest and most successful game in the series to date, 2001's Advance Wars. If you want to track down Super Famicom Wars, you're going to have to do some hunting. From what I can gather from some scarce sources, Super Famicom Wars was never commercially available in Japan. To acquire it, one would have to purchase a blank Super Famicom data cartridge and then mail it to Nintendo to have them write the game onto the data card. Super Famicom Wars stands as a unique item and is a shining jewel in my Super Famicom collection. Overall, well, what can I say? Famicom Wars is a perfect showcase of where modern strategy games have their roots. The title was rewarding, fun to play, and challenging. Navigating the Japanese menus can be a little daunting at first, but with a little experience with the other games in the series such as Advance Wars, players should have no problem getting right into this. I highly recommend it. I'm going to give Famicom Wars an 8.5 out of 10. Check it out! And that wraps up my first review. Personally, I think I held my own, but I want to know what you think. Please feel free to leave a question or comment. If you like this review, please give it a 5-star rating and subscribe to my channel. You'll be seeing a lot of reviews from me in the future. Next up is Balloon Fight for the NES and Famicom. Thanks for watching!